Star Wars is now 40 years old.
I find 99 objects that do 99...
But a bitch ain't one.
Welcome to Fat Man Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Mark Bernard.
Okay, so Star Trek Discovery is happening, whether you want it to or not.
What is the sonic power Black Canary uses called in the comic book?
Canary cry?
Correct!
Yes, this episode of the Quit Stalling Geekcast is brought to you by Jinx.com. To get 10% off of your entire shopping cart, use our promo code QuitStalling_366 at checkout. Use the promo code QuitStalling_366 at Jinx.com to get 10% off of all your gamer and geek swag. Once again, QuitStalling_366 if you like some StarCraft shirts, some Warcraft shirts, some Minecraft shirts. Craft them all you want, because when you do, and you use the promo code QuitStalling_366 at checkout, you get 10% off. That's a whole lot of money. That's like 1/10 of what you would normally spend. You know, you just get that chopped off. Yes, it's a very special episode of the Quit Stalling Geekcast. Let me get some bed music up in here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right, I'm gonna have some bed music playing in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our very special episode of the Quit Stalling Geekcast, where we talk all about Avengers: Infinity War. I'm your host, Herald Silvestre. Yes, that is my real name. It is not a screen name. It is not an alter ego. It is not our made-up name. Although, you know, it does sound made up. But you know, I'm Spider-Man. With me today, I've got the geeks. I've got more than one geek, actually, for once. I've got two geeks with me. No Wancho. Wancho is Goncho today. No reason why, but we hope he's all right. We hope he's safe. So you know what? I've missed doing this. You know, he finally has stable internet, so I get to do this. Let me up the dramatic music. First, he was the First, he was the mega geek. Then he was the Oh, I messed that up. All right, so first, he was the aggro crag. Then, he was the mega crag. And now, he's the super aggro crag of geeks. It's Jay Sanchez himself. How you doing, Jay?
Hey.
Hey.
You know, I wonder where all the titles come from. Like, I'm wondering
Star Wars is now
whether I get a prime after, like, if I turn into, like, Rodimus Prime after one thing.
You could, if you want. Like,
if I get the Allspark. Yeah.
Have I mentioned I've actually seen those episodes of Global Guts, or Guts, before they had, like, the super aggro crag? It was just, like, the crag at the start.
It was just the crag?
Yeah, it was really weird.
What happened? Did he get a degree?
Okay, we're taking up too much time. With me and Jay today, crossing over like a giant-sized crossover, all the way from GameByte.
Woo.
He's got his Hearthstone set to G&D's living room. It's the one, the only, FuryBot, Mick DeGuzman. How you doing, Mick?
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing today? And as you do this, you do the finger sounds. So it sounds like an ASMR thing, you know.
I mean, it sounds
so creepy right now.
It sounds more like you're auditioning for Batman, and they tell you to do the voice. they're like, do your own voice. We're going. Chris Nolan really wants this thing where Batman has a different voice from Bruce Wayne, and you're just like, does this sound different? Is this what
it's
you're
like
looking
your normal
for?
voice is, hey everyone, and then your Batman voice is, hey everyone. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. You just make it weaker. What the hell?
Oh my gosh. Alright, let's do this. Okay. I'm pretty sure I know who Ballsy Badger is now. What's up, man?
Who is Ballsy Badger?
C to P.
No, C to P joined in after that.
Oh really? Okay. What's up,
Yeah.
C to P? Alright, let's do this, guys. We've got a lot to talk about, so I want to get to you guys right away. Alright, so let's do this. Alright. I do this at the start of every show on the Quit Stalling Geekcast. I ask the guys, you know, it's not all about the content. Sometimes we want to know about the people who are talking about the content. So Jay, man, it's been a couple of weeks since the Black Panther episode where you were on last. What have you been up to, dude?
Not much, but there has been a big change lately. I don't know if anyone's noticed. My beard is missing.
Oh no, you're gonna talk about the internet.
Yeah. Let's just say it's pretty hot in Manila right now, and on Tuesday I had the brilliant idea of trimming it, but then I slipped. My hand slipped, and I took like a huge chunk off of it.
Oh
so
man,
this is my face for the next month, people. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
nice.
Well, that's all right, man. It actually doesn't look bad, you know. Like I miss the beard, but you know, hair grows. Hair grows.
Yeah, because like I have a chin now. If you go back
Nice.
episodes before,
It's
you
just
go back
seamless.
episodes,
It's just
it was a
seamless. Just
wall.
all straight.
like it was like just one thing.
Oh my gosh! I love that we can. I love that you feel like you can joke about it now. Like I was really hoping.
My humor has always been self-deprecating. I'll cry about it later, like when no one's looking.
I hope not. Where's the ring? Where's the ring?
Oh.
All right, put it on. Put it on.
Put on an episode of Supergirl right now.
Supergirl always makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah,
You know.
she's over there. I have a signed art term, Supergirl, right over there.
Nice.
Awesome. Whenever you feel bad about yourself, it always helps to watch a superhero show from the CW where everyone is beautiful. All right, Mick, man, what have you been up to recently?
Same as always. I'm actually it's my second time here. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Hoy, bawal deadly weapon dito.
I'm very excited to be part of this. Aside from that, I was in this podcast. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it. It's called GameByte. Are you familiar with that?
Is it nice?
Yeah. I'm with this. The host is a nice guy. So he makes fun of me. So he's a little bit.
I heard he's an asshole.
I heard he's.
I know that show. I'm not allowed on that show.
Oh,
How are you not allowed on that show?
the show?
Because I know I'm gonna get annoying. I'm like, oh really? Yeah.
Because not to you or me, Mick. He means to Diego.
No, to everyone. I really MMR? Huh? It went lower, huh?
Oh, he knows MMR now.
Oh,
Mighty Morphin Rangers. Mighty Morphin Rangers, right?
Oh. God damn it. Okay, before we get carried away, I'm crying. Huge shout out to Mike Lorenzana for the follow. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for tuning in, dude. You the man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we miss you, Mike. Let's hang out. Next week, me and DZ are hanging out here, I think. So we'll invite you. And then, Jay, man, next week's a big week, isn't it? We got D&D.
Man, inviting the whole world to your hangout.
Not to that.
That's a Project X. That's a Project X thing. That's gonna happen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I know. All right. So Mick,
I struggled with that word. I have no idea.
That's the project. That's the Project X. That's the Project X. Okay. So Mick, this is your second time on the Geekcast. I want to ask you, how was your first time? How was the Black Panther episode for you?
Yeah. Your reviews, please.
Well, the Black Panther episode was pretty fun. I was really under the weather though. I was really sick.
Yeah, we were both super sick. We were sick bastards, dude.
Like crazy sick there. Like my nose, I was already feeling. I was getting feverish.
Same.
Like halfway of the show, but we gotta power through.
But we saw each other days before that. So.
No.
Yeah, I mean, these guys might have had contact with Chen Lu or something.
One radioactive man. I got
that.
You. Oh, where's the camera? You. All right, I approve.
And I had me some of that Thunderbolts before I stopped buying comics. So.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh, Mike just signed up on Twitch just for us, dude. You are the man. Thank you so much. That means a lot. That really does mean a lot.
Cheers.
Francis in the chat said Jay's beard disintegrated.
Yeah, the problem was it had a life of its own. It was growing too fast.
Yeah.
So when Thanos did that, it was the 50% that went away from my body.
Oh, that's
just
rough.
the beard.
That's rough. Yeah. So Real quick, guys, that reminds me, Jay. That's a very good point. That reminds me. Today, ladies and gentlemen,
Holy spoiler alert!
is a spoiler-filled episode. So if you have not seen Infinity War, or if you don't want to get spoiled, tune out now, because we're gonna go ballsy badger deep into this thing. All right.
You can mute it and just admire our faces, and that's
true.
That's where it should end.
Just doing this.
Yeah. Okay. The music also stopped when you guys did that, so I got worried.
Perfect.
It worked. It worked.
Someone clip that.
Nice timing.
See?
It worked. Ballsy Badger says, let's see here. Oh, you mentioned something earlier. I think I missed it.
We should have taken a paracetamol. I don't want to self-medicate, so I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah. This is Cappy.
Scared.
That's who it is.
Yeah, right. So he's saying
Yeah.
it's like Conan's beard all over again. Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Conan's beard had a good send off with Will Ferrell, but I miss Conan's beard though. I wish he had it. I wish he still had it. I wish he grew it back out.
You know, I honestly didn't like it so much. Though he did start the Conan show with the beard, so it's like, it's an iconic thing, right?
Yeah. Like that whole transition period from NBC. Like, we're gonna talk about Conan for a second. That whole transition from NBC to TBS was really
The Barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a nice like moment for him, or nice span of a few months for him, because he got to really like find a lot of himself, and now he gets to phone it in.
Did you guys watch the documentary about what he did when he got fired from NBC?
How could I not? Like, I went yar right away when it went out.
I hear it didn't really make him look so good.
No, actually, I liked it. I liked it. Like,
it was nice, because the thing is, if you've been watching him ever since he first began, he's really that kind of comic. He makes those snarky comments. It's somewhat annoying, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. And it's the only way for you to really just truly enjoy him as a comedian, as a host in general, because he loves self-degrading jokes. He likes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure maybe some of us actually got some of our material from him. He also has
who is
he has snarky comments. He has snarky comments, especially with Jordan Slansky.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
Slansky. His interactions with Jordan Slansky, probably one of the best bits of comedy you'll find on the internet, on the interwebs. So you guys should watch that. Yeah, but it's all a mixture of those kinds of comedy that it's not palatable to everybody, but I love it so much. I grew up
definitely. All right, so thanks for asking, guys. What I've been up to recently is I've been doing a lot of wheeling and dealing behind the scenes for Quit Stalling, so a lot of stuff might be popping up here and there that I get to talk to you guys about really soon. Not just the folks at home. You guys below will hear about this really soon as well, before everyone at home. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for all the good stuff.
Same. Whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. Now that Jay has fiber, we get to have him on more. I can't wait. That was his excuse before, so now he has no excuse.
He has no excuse. I'm staying late for work, but then
I think I might have to break my phone on purpose.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, you have a laptop that has a webcam.
Oh no, it's broken.
Well, you still have a laptop with Skype.
Yeah, I do.
Ah!
I finally got out of video call though. So
yeah. All right. I love how Jay's camera is like perfectly over his, like the nameplate is like perfectly over his mouth, so it looks like a sensor plate.
It's like he might say a lot of profanities.
Spoiler
alert.
All right. Well, let's talk about the stuff we wanted to talk about.
When it's spoiler time, I'm just gonna put my mouth down and be like, oh yeah.
I should probably do the same thing. Oh wait, wrong side. Oh yeah, look, it's spoil. I'm doing the exact same thing. Oh, we're good. Okay, now I know. It's here.
Wait, one more. Wait.
You're on this side.
There.
You see me?
It's me, Mario. No, I couldn't get it.
Wait, no, that did not look like Okay, never mind. You know what? Never mind. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, you guys have anything you want to talk about before we finally move on? Like anything you guys want to, any shout outs you want to give, and all that good stuff.
Jay, you go first.
To my peeps, hey.
To my peeps.
You put me on the spot, bro.
Huge shout out to all the Janiacs out there who've been dying for some J.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get the banners out. I'm back.
Yes! Raise the banners! Raise the banners. All right. Well, yeah, a huge shout out to everyone in the chat right now, especially Ballsy Badger, Mike Lorenzana, Blue Chip Joe, and everyone else who's been watching right now. Did anyone else comment? Let me check. Francis, how could I forget Francis? Man? Francis. Our boy.
Shout out to Nightbot. You the man.
Nightbot always spamming the chat for us. Thanks, Nightbot. But yeah, Francis, I'm so glad that Francis finally got to watch us again. You know, it's been so long because he's had work. You know, so work sucks. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's get it.
It's like I have a beard again.
Yeah, here we go. Oh wait, where's the audio?
What happened?
Why is the audio? Okay, here you go. Oh, there it is. I found the mixer. Here we go. It's still not playing. What the heck? Oh, here we go. All right, that's enough for copyright. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, today it's all about the Avengers and, you know, specifically Infinity War. My God, this is the blockbuster of all blockbusters in terms of hype, in terms of lead up. Everyone wanted to see this. Everyone wanted nothing to do with Facebook spoilers, but there were, you know, there's always those people. And you know, it was awesome, guys. I loved it.
It was a good one. It was a really good movie. I would honestly watch it again, but again, it's very expensive to watch. You know, watch it again in the movie house.
Same.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I want to get your initial thoughts, guys. So, what did you think coming into the theater? You know, like did it feel overhyped because of all the trailers? Like, what were your expectations like?
You first, Jay.
Well, I came into the cinema with a theory that, I'm pretty sure, theory that Wanda was replacing Death in the movie.
Okay.
Because Thanos had to woo someone. And,
Scarlet Witch.
I was
Wanda
pretty sure that it was going to be Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And I was wrong.
Oh, yes. You were dead wrong.
I was dead wrong.
Whoops.
But I honestly, I liked how they handled it. Like, they went away from Infinity Gauntlet, and I prefer that way.
Oh, okay. Okay. You stuttered for a bit there, so...
You stuttered for a bit.
Mick, man, what were your thoughts?
You know, so I watched it by myself, because, you know, I had a podcast, you know, when my friends were watching it, so, you know, I didn't get to watch. It's fine,
That's commitment right there.
We watched with them. Yeah, you know, priorities.
Bump it.
But yeah, when I got to watch it, you know, going in, people were telling me, oh, no one wanted to tell me like, dude, you're gonna love it. Oh, no, people were just saying, yeah, dude, just watch it. Just watch it, okay? Just watch it. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Goes inside. 3 hours later, goes out. I'm like, and then there's like a long line outside, and I was like, I didn't want to show them that how shocked I was. I was like, what the fuck just happened? But I had to like go poker face, so I was just walking out, and I wanted to like speak to someone about it. So the first thing I did was I called a friend who just watched it the night before. I was like, dude, what the fuck, dude, it's crazy.
It was nuts. Yeah,
it was crazy.
So yeah, guys, the whole back. So we're talking specifically about the end of the film, because Thanos pretty much made half the universe disappear in a snap.
Yes.
What Gamora's? Damn. It came true.
What I really want to know is, how did he randomize it? Did he use like a fishbowl method, or was it a, like, how do you know who?
I think it was more of like an ethereal drawing of the straws. Like everyone.
Or maybe it was like a.
Well put, sir. Well put. Yeah.
No, to be honest, I really think it was just like a random number generator, generated by Infinity Gauntlet. You know, we gotta get.
Yes.
It has RNG's powers.
It has RNG's powers. Exactly.
There's a D20 inside the Infinity Gauntlet.
It's the last stone.
Oh yeah, the Soul Stone is actually a D20,
Yeah,
and then it rolls
it's a
for
purple
everyone.
D20, dude. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Yeah, RNG. Yeah, Thanos' Soul Stone is actually RNG's manifested. Jeez. Yeah. So I don't know. So I guess we could work our way backwards or Deus Ex Machina this. So let's start with the end. The gauntlet just gets wrecked by the snap, by him killing all those people, or not really killing, I guess, by making all those people disappear and turn into dust. So like, what do you guys think happened there? Like, I don't want to speculate too much, but this is the one thing I do want to ask you guys about, because it's like the biggest question mark for me right now. It's like, what do you guys think happened there? Like, it just got wrecked.
Jay, you can go first, man. I know you got a lot to say. So
that's why I was like, Mick, you got to do this first, Mick. I got to.
Okay.
There's a lot to say.
So for me, how I saw it is that since the whole Thanos thing is a very realistic take, like they're trying to make him as human as they possibly can. Someone with emotions, someone who has some part of vulnerability, like
even if he's not human.
Even if he's not human, exactly. Even if he's an alien or specifically a Titan.
A Titan to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
buddy. Yeah, I know that. But then, so when I saw that whole, his whole, was it left arm or right? I think it was right arm, right? It was his right arm that had the Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, come on, chat, help me out here. I don't know which part. Left. I'm kind of bad at that. Left. Okay, so in his left hand.
Yeah, I think it's the left one.
Just imagine Peter Parker pulling it away, like he was pulling on the left arm.
You're right. Yeah.
Here. Then Spider-Man was it right? Okay, good. Okay. On his left arm, and then you can see the whole left arm is just fully destroyed. I think what's gonna happen now is that you're gonna see him in the next episode. It's trying to set up Thanos being weaker now for the next set of for the next movie. That's how I see it, and then how the gems are gonna be, instead of the Infinity Gauntlet being used in that storyline, it's gonna be the stones itself. That's how I see it. That's just me making some wild assumptions or speculations based on what I just saw from the movie.
Okay, all right, Jay, man, your thoughts?
Well, with me, I don't think the glove is gone. Like, I think it should be really solid, because that's in the comic book, in the Infinity Gauntlet. That's how they bring everyone back. Like when Thanos beat all the Earth's heroes and he beat the celestial beings, Eternity, Chaos and Order, he turned into something new and he left his body with a glove behind, which Nebula took and used to reverse everything he ever did. So I think they need the glove, like just the time gem by itself, just to go back. I don't think it's enough. I think they have to get them all together and rewrite reality.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, I mean, that's really interesting, because when we saw Thanos with the gauntlet, we're actually not quite sure when it was forged, right? Because we don't know the timeline specifically from when he went to the dwarven, I guess you could call it a star, right? Because it's the heart of a dying star.
Yep.
Nifil beer.
And don't forget, relativity changes the.
Oh god damn! No, let's not go through Interstellar right now. Let's.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about anyway. Yeah.
No, but yeah, like
sci-fi in general.
Yeah, but yeah. So like, It's really interesting because, you know, like you said, Jay, instead of using the time stone, it might just they might use the gauntlet itself, but it does look wrecked, right? It does look like a lot of it was, you know, for the lack of a better term, used up when he snapped his finger. So it's really interesting, and I'm curious to see where they take this, and you know, I'm pretty sure we got a clear enough shot at the final scene where he's over the Banaue rice terraces. That he's not wearing it.
Yeah.
So like I wonder, like it makes me really.
It's a scene from the end of Infinity Gauntlet actually.
Oh,
From the
that's
comic.
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. But they weren't
nice.
it wasn't in Ifugao area.
Yeah, it was. It's basically.
It was still in space.
Wasn't it like in the Infinity Gauntlet? It's basically after he, you know, made that snap and, you know, killed half of everybody in the universe. He basically lived his life as a farmer after everything that happened, right? So that's basically like paying homage. But this time he's gonna be a Filipino farmer, if you know what I mean.
Hey, planting rice.
Yeah, he's gonna be planting rice.
What did he farm in the comics? Like, what was he?
Space rice.
Probably space rice. Or maybe
they call it Sprice.
I don't know.
They call it
Sprice. Yeah.
Sprice.
Like in June.
Maybe some sparrots. You know,
the Sprice will flow.
Yeah. The Sprice will flow.
All right. So yeah, I was just super curious about that. Okay, so from the end, let's go a little bit to the depth that Mick was talking about with Thanos, and you know how they tried to work in a lot of his backstory, because we've gotten nothing story-wise with Thanos up until this movie, and you know they tried to show us as much of his motivation as possible, and I think they did an okay job. Like, it wasn't moving by any stretch of the imagination, but it did do a decent job of like filling in the gaps of, okay, he's kind of not right in the head. You know, his motivation for doing everything is still a little twisted. You know, he's got his own logic. Like, so like, what did you guys think of those scenes? You know, them like the Russo brothers and the whole crew trying to flesh out his backstory.
I'll start with this one, Mick, because you got the last one.
Yep.
I actually like it more. Because I keep, you know, I'm your token geek dictionary, but in the comic, I keep saying that. But in the comic, he did everything for death, like the personification of death.
Yes.
And he was in love with her, and it was her idea to wipe out half of the universe, because back then people were dying younger, and then now people are getting older because of technology and everything else. So it was her idea to kill half the universe. And he was just like a fanboy. He was just like super in love with her. And that's why he wanted to do everything. That was his motivation in the comic books. And
I heard,
I love the fact that they just made it his here. Like, honestly, taking out death was just a master stroke. It was amazing. It was a good idea. And I think making it his own idea makes it all the more real. And I love it.
Yeah, he's not just some lovesick puppy who wants to impress death. He's actually the one who wants to do all this. It adds another layer to him, you know, of psychoticness.
There's more backbone. There's more backbone in the decision to do it.
Mick, man, thoughts on this?
I like how they basically said that, oh, Titan used to be a world. You know, that scene where Iron Man and, you know, the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange, you know, they landed there. It's basically, I like how they set that up, that, you know, Titan used to be a really nice civilization, and, you know, he was from there, and that they're basically on the brink of extinction because the thing is of overpopulation. And then, you know, he had the idea of wiping out half of their population just to ensure their survival, and then he was shunned away for having that stupid idea. You know, I like that backstory because at least it gives substance to why he wants to do it, right? Because the thing is, if you just go, okay, he's just a psychotic guy that feels like, oh, I just want to kill half the universe, you know, for some reason, you know, because, you know, I'm just mad at them, or, you know, I just don't like overpopulation. You know, that would make him look like just an airhead, right? And we don't want that. And it's him.
Yeah, go for it.
Him basically seeing that it's like you know the Savior complex or Jesus complex. I don't know what you would refer that to that.
Yeah,
like
that's
how
it, yeah.
you to other people you think it's wrong, but to him, he's trying to save everyone.
Yeah. God
everyone,
complex.
like maybe half of the world. The God complex. There we go.
Because in essence, good and bad is relative, and he
Yeah.
just has a really messed up view of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And, you
your
know,
outlook, Tony,
yeah.
right? It's your outlook.
Yeah, and all his views prevent him from becoming a Steppenwolf,
No.
right? Like he's not just killing because he's the bad guy. There's actually, yeah, they've done a good job of giving him motivation. Like, yes, it's twisted. Yes, it's you know, it's something people can stand up against. But that's what that also adds another layer to it. Like, yes, he thinks this way, but a lot of majority of the people know that it's not the right way to do things, and
Yeah.
it just makes the conflict that much more intense. That when you're rooting against him, and in the end he wins, that just puts the icing on the cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when the dagger is in and then they twist it.
Yes. Exactly.
Or it's like that part where, you know, when you crap, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, never mind, switch scenes.
Okay, I'm gonna add to catch Mick. You know what I would have killed for? That
What?
flashback on Titan. Like if they had Star Fox, not the game Star Fox, like the Marvel comic Star Fox,
Ooh.
which is Thanos' brother.
Let me
Yes,
bring
I
up
know
a
who Star
photo
Fox
of
is.
Star Fox. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep going.
No, I wanted to be played by Sean Astin, his brother from the Goonies, Samwise Gamgee.
Man,
That'd be so funny.
That would have been crazy.
Oh,
that would have
that
been
would be-
hilarious, dude.
that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Let me bring up an image of
Bring
the
up
Star Fox.
Bring up a photo of Eros. Come on.
Here
Here
we
it is,
go.
Here it is. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Where is it?
Are you ready? Are you ready for it? You ready?
He's like a guapo
Transition,
space
baby.
Wolverine. He's a
Here we
good-looking
go.
space Wolverine.
It's too zoomed in. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, the hair, the sharp hair. You don't see
I'll
it.
look for one with the hair.
But yeah.
I'll look for one with the hair.
Yeah.
See, like for those who don't
But
read the-
imagine
sorry.
imagine
Jay.
that guy played by Sean Astin though. That would have been so funny.
Yeah, actually, this next photo I'm gonna show kind of makes him look like Zachary Levi. Also, hold on me. This one.
Oh yeah, that's from She-Hulk. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. I could see Sean Astin as this. You know, he's not doing anything. He just finished Stranger Things. So, like, spoiler alert. We're spoiling more than...
He's just Thanos' cheery younger brother with the power to affect people's feelings.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. That's nice. That's nice.
Right?
Yeah,
Sean,
I don't
Sean
know.
Astin, bro.
I don't know what it was like in your theaters, guys, but at the end, it was dead somber in mine.
Silence.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone was
Dude.
so distraught that he actually won.
Yeah. I
Every
loved it.
Right.
Right?
I was basking in it.
Yeah.
So, like...
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
So, yeah, sorry, Mick. I'll make this real quick. I just like that. Like, this is the first Marvel movie, and the first movie in a long time for me that I've watched where, you know, people weren't talking at the end. Like, people were genuinely just shocked and confused at what they just saw.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing because we always know that the heroes are gonna win, and you know, some of us might have had an inkling that, okay, this might be their version of Empire Strikes Back because there is supposed to be a part 2, and you know, it's just something you cherish these days because, geez, man, like how often are you gonna get this kind of reaction from people nowadays where everyone expects the ending? They know what's happening. Like, we are so well into you know, pop culture that we can pretty much guess what happens left and right.
Yeah. Well, my experience though, like when I was watching, I had like a family in the back, like with 2 kids, like 2 boys, 2 young boys, like they're like 10 years old, and they were very noisy in the start. They're like trying to recap everything that they just saw from the trailers. It's like, oh, is Captain America gonna be there? Yeah, he's gonna be here. We saw it in the back. He's gonna be there. Right, and then you know, so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna eat my popcorn, you know, because I got the large one, so that I, you know, because I knew it was 3 hours, so I could be munching on something.
Alone?
Yeah, dude, I can finish it. Come on, dude, it's not even that big. Okay, it's not the taters one. Okay, it's not the taters one. The taters one is huge. I can't finish that. But
Shout out
yeah,
potatoes.
shout out to taters. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, as in after the whole movie, After the like when it was done, the kids they were dead silent. I was like, I even looked back. I looked back at them and I was like, wow, these kids are speechless. and then my cousin showed a video of his nephew after watching it. He's on a fetus position, like he's literally sitting down, lying down on his chair, in a fetus position, and he's just staring at the screen.
That is so funny.
The whole time, I was like,
That's
wow,
crazy.
the kid's mind just got blown. I feel so bad. Wow.
Yeah, and like again, like Michael in the chat who's saying, when was the last time you saw a villain succeed and the heroes failed? Like, yes, right? Like, thank God this finally happened.
Karate Kid.
Oh, I have one. I love
Cobra Kai. Yes, Mick.
The Dark Knight.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a movie.
Boo you, Mick. Boo you.
It's true.
Well,
someone's gotta say it, okay? The Joker
it was
won
a
in that
moral
one.
victory for Batman in the end, I think, but still a heavy loss.
A heavy loss.
Yeah.
Joker won it to begin with. Okay.
Yeah, which was pretty awesome. Yes, Heath Ledger was very well written and portrayed.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm gonna save it for another day.
Oh, okay, you will. Okay. And
no, the Joker thing. I'm gonna save it for another day.
Oh yeah. We should definitely. I want to do a deep dive on the Batman trilogy. So. Francis in the chat earlier, just to break the ice real quick, he said, "Oh, you know what Thanos was farming? Infinity quinoa." Yeah, infinity quinoa.
Quinoa, baby.
Quinoa.
I don't know how he thought. Oh man, I haven't heard that word in months.
You were the best, Francis. You were the best. Let's see here. Let's see what else is relevant in the chat. Nope, that's not relevant.
Oh, okay.
Actually, let's read it out. Ballsy Badger in the chat says, "I had to pee real bad towards the end. When people started dying, I went to the bathroom. Full sprint. Got back in time to realize they lost." Oh my god.
C to P.
You know,
C to P.
C to P.
But ballsy, dude. My friend had it worse because the thing is, he towards the end, his stomach really hurt, so he had to go to the bathroom, do a number 2, and he practically missed the whole end sequence. And he had to ask my friend what exactly happened. I felt kind of bad for him. Like, he went back, the credits started rolling, and he was like, "I missed it. I missed it."
That's horrible, dude.
That's unfortunate.
That's bad.
That's just unlucky. Yeah. So, I want to get into individual characters at the moment because
I haven't shared my thing yet.
Oh yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Go. Let's go, Jay.
Matambo. Well, for once, I honestly love the fact that everyone felt so lost at the end, like that the whole cinema was silent. And it's been so long as a comic book reader since I was a kid. It's been so long since I've gone to a movie and everyone was like, "What's going on?" There's always people at the back saying, "Oh, this guy's this guy's that," and even casuals are like, "Oh, this new guy, I heard he is," and for the first time in maybe since the first one, since Iron Man 1, everyone was lost, and it felt like I was the only one in on it, and I've missed that feeling so much. So I think this whole thing, it wasn't just for the casuals. It was really for the hardcore fans who stuck by since the beginning. You've known where it was going from the start, and just the fact that, the first time Thanos showed up in his chair at the end of Avengers 1, I knew it was going here, and I've waited so long to see this, and so did everyone else, and I'm just so happy that we're there.
Yeah, definitely. And Jay, you touched upon the hardcore geeks and stroking each other's egos. But what I love about the MCU, is it's broadened the reach of not just a lot of the characters like Iron Man, but Marvel Comics and Marvel characters in general, right? Like the X-Men, yeah, sure, they were pop culture, but the fact that we got very, very obscure characters like Killmonger becoming mainstream, Holy crap! Who would have saw that coming? Because you and I, Jay, back in high school, we sat around after school
Reading
one
comics.
time, reading comics. We'd watch Marvel's The Ultimates, Ultimate Avengers, the cartoon, and we were saying, you know, before they announced the MCU, like this would be great if they had real actors, and we speculated. We were those geeks. We were like, yeah, like there've been rumors about Triple H being Thor, and we were like, no, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
So
Also
like,
happy when Downey was cast as Iron Man though. I was like, it's perfect.
I remember walking around the classroom and talking to a bunch of people, you know, like you guys like you, and being like, you know what, like not many people know about his like alcoholism because we were so young back then.
Yeah, the
But,
demon
like,
in the bottle run was it's perfect Downey. It's
Right?
so perfect, right?
So like seeing it all unfold, not just, you know, for the hardcores, but also the casuals getting to know everything. It's such a phenomenon. It's the very definition of a phenomenon.
I'm so happy that we're getting recognition, we're getting mainstream, but at the same time, dude, it's so freaking weird to see people who did not like comics when you were in grade school just posting about Thanos and like Man-Ape, and it's just like I'm just like, this is the weirdest shit ever. Like, it's great, but it's
great.
so weird.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Posers.
Just like some random person you've met like years ago who's just like posting a criticism on like, oh, this is gonna go here, and you're just like, man, like years ago you saw me reading an Avengers comic and you were like, what the fuck, bro? Right? I mean, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, and it's given a lot of reach for, you know, a lot of people growing up who love stuff like this, and they finally have outlets, not just you know, the horizons have broadened. Pop culture and geek culture have opened up for the world, and you know, I feel safe now. I feel safe.
Yeah, because the problem in comics is a problem of legitimacy, to be honest. People think it's dumb fodder. It's like something to give your brain a rest. But no, it's genuine literature. Some stories are really, really good. Like Why the Last Man is going to be a show, and Why the Last Man is one of the best stories I've ever read.
Yeah.
Whether it's a comic or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the media is legitimate now, and it's one of the things.
Yeah. No, sorry, you slowed down for like a couple seconds, but yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, legitimacy.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best things the medium can get.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
You know, it brings more writers, brings more artists into the fold, and like gives us better stories.
Yeah, and you know, to speak about artists, like guys like Miguel Mercado, thanks to the internet, have gotten
Right there, that's
great,
his work right there. I love
right?
it.
Like they've
Spider
gotten a fantastic way of like fantastic mediums like Facebook and Twitter are fantastic ways for them to get discovered, and you know, it's a time where industries like the industry, like the comic book industry and industries in general, are looking for talented people like this. And you know, when they present art of super comic book heroes, superheroes,
Super books like the Bible cartoon.
dude, super books. I think I could pitch that to Netflix and get approved. But yeah, you know, to be able to draw and paint and color comic book heroes and have them be complex and recognizable. You know, people being like, "Oh my God, you drew Thanos," and like everyone knows who Thanos is now. It's so amazing, and
It's weird, but it's magical.
yeah, right. And I hope it lasts because this is such a
will.
weird thing.
It will.
Imagine if we were kids and people knew what the fuck we were talking about.
It'd be so weird. I don't think I can imagine a world like that. Cause, but yeah, you know. So, shout out to Wapak Wapak who is there in the chat saying, "I didn't know Why the Last Man is going to be a show." It is, and it's.
It is.
I think me and Wancho talked about this. So just to sidebar there real quick. I think because of the storyline and you know, speaking specifically about Why the Last Man and the storyline, I think now that it's going to be in a larger public eye, when we discussed this, we said it might be open to more criticism with certain groups because of how that story was handled. with the comics, and it's great because the story of that, from certain points of view, is really amazing, and the development of the characters is really good. So,
But if they could do Preacher, anything else, they can do anything else.
yeah, true that. Okay, so stepping back into the Infinity War.
Back to Avengers.
Yeah, back to the Avengers. Let's talk about, like I said earlier, let's talk about specific characters, guys. I want to know your thoughts. Who is your favorite in this movie? Like the typical
Hawkeye.
teenage banter, teenage geek banter. Who is your favorite, guys?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
I don't get why you guys are laughing though. No, but yeah.
Yeah, he had like 0 seconds of screen time. That's pretty good.
That's a record.
That is a record. Who knew that he could make such an impact with 0 seconds of screen time?
I didn't even.
I love
think
it.
It just.
Me, I already know what's my favorite one. My favorite one is Red Skull. Red
Oh
Skull.
yeah,
so
out of
Fucking
nowhere,
Red Skull, dude.
like an RKO.
Yeah.
Like an RKO.
Even if it wasn't Hugo Weaving, dude, the guy Rose Mark One, Ross Mark
Really
One.
good job.
He did
Might
an
have well
amazing
as
job.
been. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It
might have
was
well
so
have been
close.
Hugo Weaving.
I didn't even
His-
notice it at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's like
Yeah.
he's like an impersonator, I think, or
He's an actor that can do
No, he
really
was-
good
he was-
impressions.
Yeah, he was in Walking Dead, I think.
Uh-huh.
He was.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
but
Like, yeah. No,
I
go for it.
completely
Go for it.
forgot. I completely forgot that Red Skull was like he turned into like he
A Dementor.
disappeared with a Tesseract. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love seeing where it went. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like, to you see him as the Dementor at first, and you're like, who the fuck is this? And then
Is
yeah, he turns around. They reveal the red face, and it's like, no, they didn't just pull this on us. That is amazing. No one saw this.
Yeah.
You just go on. Oh, he's still alive. What the fuck?
That was
Awesome.
and
Yeah,
the
I was
story.
like, is this death? Like, it has a coat like death, and then
Yeah, I thought it was that as well.
I didn't expect it, dude.
yeah,
Zero.
Like, and
Nothing. I was out of nowhere.
it speaks again of how you can, given the right tools, you can still surprise people in the audience.
Yes.
And in the right hands as well. The creative writers in Marvel. And if they planned this from the beginning, wow. But if they didn't, also wow, because they found a way to weave him in.
Yeah.
Freaking genius.
This is the difference between Marvel and DC for me. Like the changes Marvel does to its stories and its characters make the stories better. They don't just change it because they can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think DC needs to fucking learn that.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't too saddened by Momoa being cast as AC. Like, I wasn't against it, but I wasn't for it. And then when I saw him, I was like, okay, I can see this as a modern take on Aquaman. This would be racially sensitive and also makes total sense.
And if you've seen him in Baywatch Hawaii,
Right. Like, yes. Yeah.
bring Keikoa as Mera. Come on, I don't care if she's not a ginger. Bring back Keikoa.
Blue Chip Joe in the chat says Thanos was last for most people, unlike Ultron. I think. Oh, Bernice in the chat. Oh, Bernice is in the chat saying downloaded this to watch you guys. Bernice,
Bring it back.
Bernie back. Oh my God, Bernice, daughter of the Escobar Mexican fortune, cartel fortune, heir apparent to a lot of money. She says, what I want to know is what happens to Red Skull now that Thanos has the Soul Stone. Oh yeah, like, wasn't he pretty much like the guardian, kind of like the
Well, he goes back to Azkaban.
Makes total sense.
Yep.
Sense.
Because he got it. He got the soul. Gamora. Sorry, spoiler alert again.
Yeah.
So Gamora's soul is now with the Dementor. Brought it back to Azkaban.
I love the explanation as to how he couldn't get the gem though. I love how they said you need to sacrifice someone you loved, and Red Skull doesn't love anything. That's why he couldn't.
He loves himself.
I loved it.
He
Yeah.
loves
That was
himself.
so good.
That's how he works.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. Like it has to be someone else.
you can't just swan dive into
Yeah.
the
Swan dive.
Yeah.
I lose my life. He just-
Will I get this gem?
That might have been what happened, actually. That might have been why he's just the Dementor now. 'Cause
Maybe. Yeah, and then he just jumps off.
right?
When he became the mentor, and then when he jumps off, he's just like floating like a leaf. He's just like going down, then cascading really smooth through the air.
I can't not see a leaf like that and not think of Wash.
Wash, yeah, I know.
Right?
I got sad for a bit.
Me
Thanks,
too.
Nick.
We're on the same boat, me and Jay.
Oh,
Uh,
We're on the same Firefly class
Firefly,
ship.
Okay.
We're on the same
Sorry.
Serenity. Mike in the chat says Thanos has so much depth compared to previous Marvel villains. I think, you know what? That's right. Aside from Loki, who they've had ample time to flesh out, he's been one of the villains that they've actually given screen time to develop his character, and not just screen time to be angry around him like Obadiah and sorry Jay, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, Thanos also has more chins than most Marvel villains.
Yep.
Maybe even more than the Blob.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wait, let me get a screenshot.
It looks like a Yeezy, dude.
It looks like a Yeezy. It looks like the back of a Yeezy. Oh. It's like the back.
Oh my god. Kanye is a hot topic right now. We're not gonna touch that.
Sorry.
That's so funny though. It's so easy.
I just saw it online. I was like, hey, that's right.
That makes total sense. Bernice says real talk. We just talked about how real and relatable is Thanos. So I want to ask Jay, serious question. Mick gave his serious answer for this. So Jay, who was your favorite or who were your favorites in Infinity War?
Okay.
Gosh dang it! All right, thanks for asking, guys.
Okay.
Hey, Clint Barton is my boy.
I know.
No. But maybe probably Peter Parker. With his killer 10th Doctor impersonation.
Dude.
I don't want to go.
I don't want to go.
Man.
Oh.
Like, honestly, I didn't like that part. I think it was excessive.
That's a British dude bringing Doctor Who into the Marvel Universe.
You think that was an homage? Do you think that was an homage?
That was an homage. No, it's super freaking obvious, dude. It is an homage.
Okay. For me, I think it was either excessive or it took him too long to say it. I think if he said it like a second earlier, it might have felt more impactful, but I think he waited too long. There was a long lull with him in Tony's hands that shouldn't have been there. Could have saved another second for more screen time for Hawkeye. But I think for me, my favorite character, aside from Peter Parker and Spider-Man, because everyone had ample screen time, which is something that must have been so hard to pull off for everyone behind the scenes at Marvel Studios. Because everyone got a line, and even friggin' Mantis had ample screen time. So
Hey, Drax.
Damn it!
My movement is so slow that people forget that I'm there. Oh, hi, Drax.
Oh man, that was such that could have been so bad, but it was so bad that it was so good.
Batista, bro.
Yeah.
Batista showing some acting props.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof.
What's the who is Gamora when is Gamora and then why is Gamora? Is that the thing? I love that one. Yeah. I forgot the line, but that was killer. I was laughing.
Burns in the chat says, wow, she said it really fast. She said, why is Gamora?
Love it.
Yeah, and Michael in the chat says Spider-Man scene was unscripted according to an article. The scene where he asks him, oh, so we're using our made-up names. That was a good scene.
Okay, I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that's why it was trailer-worthy, I think, because of the genuineness.
Oh, we're using our fake names. All right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm Spider-Man. Okay. I think Spider-Man also takes the cake for me, closely followed by Captain America, and I think it's just purely because he's unlocking a lot of hidden feelings I thought I could never have for a man. That beard.
Was it the beard? It was the
Right.
beard, right?
It was the beard
the
and the
beard.
hair. Like any Caucasian could probably grow a beard, like
You
the
never
Iberians.
said that about me when I had my beard.
Well, you're not Chris Evans. No
that's
offense.
beef.
No offense, but you're not Chris Evans.
Wow. Look at that
a lot of
awkward silence right there.
A lot of latent homosexual feelings coming out on this episode of the Good Story Geekcast.
Very ambiguous. Yes.
Oh no ambiguity here. It's out there. it's out there. All right. Let's see here. Sorry, Michael. Our night bot doesn't let just anyone post links for the safety of our chat room, because we don't want people just clicking on, we don't want spammers to come in and be able to just spam. So I might be able to. I could be the one to actually copy paste that. So give me a sec.
We're a low sodium podcast. We don't want a lot of spam.
We're a low sodium. There you go. All right, so I have admin rights, so I can do that. So there you go. Check that out. So that's the link that Mike was talking about, where they were saying that the line Tom Holland used was improvised. So I enjoyed all the characters. Surprisingly, even the ones from Wakanda, like Shuri and Okoye, had ample screen time.
They did,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt like Black Panther was underwhelming. Shout out to my boy Mark, by the way.
Yeah, Mark
King.
My king. No, I think it's because we just had a Black Panther movie, and they were aware of fatigue. I think if you take it out of timeline, it will feel like he didn't get enough screen time. But if you are aware of how close the movies were to each other, it makes sense. You don't want people to get sick of him before you give him a sequel. Or we might not even get a sequel. Who knows? We're getting a sequel. Yeah, we're getting a sequel. Let's see. Bernice says, I was the third wheel pala in our team. Why would you say that, Bernice? Why would you say that you're the third wheel? I'm not quite sure, but she meant our trio, Jay. Our trio. All right. Okay, so
well, apparently I'm not Chris Evans, so I'm also not part of the picture. Bernice.
I'm gonna hear about this later.
Oh man.
I think the only ineffective characters, or I guess probably rightly so, because we had so many on screen, were Thanos' sons and daughters. What were they called again, Jay?
The Black Order.
The Black Order.
And they were even missing one girl, dude. It was so weird, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think justifiably they didn't get enough screen time because they didn't want to overshadow Thanos and his impact, and they didn't want this to be an episode about the henchmen. They wanted this to be a full-on, all right, check out Thanos in all his glory. Finally, you get all of Thanos after all the teasing for a decade.
I think the fact that they showed that he didn't need them just made him look more badass.
I think that's right. I think that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah, and I think it was also nice that when Cap showed up to help Wanda and the Vision, they made the they Papa Chris was able to make the gods bleed. He and that's actually also kind of where I thought they were going with Tony on Titan, when he made Thanos bleed, and he specifically said all of that effort for a drop of blood.
You mean the Attack on Titan?
Yes, when the Attack on Titan was staged by the Avengers and the Guardians.
Yep.
That was definitely a nice Attack on Titan. I actually thought that's where they were going, especially with the defeat of the heroes in the movie. That he made Thanos bleed. He showed the audience that, okay, Tony is gonna die in a blaze of glory, but showing everyone else around him that it was possible to defeat Thanos, because if one man in an iron suit can make him bleed. But I guess they didn't go that way, maybe to avoid comparison. But at the same time, like, yeah, Thanos can bleed, so he's killable. He's killable for us in the audience, right? So all hope is not lost. Thanks, Cap, and thanks, Tony. Thanks, Tony, for your hard-fought loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my guess was he was gonna go. Like I thought Tony was gonna die.
Same.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He's halfway there.
But we don't have the second part yet, so we shouldn't get too excited.
I know. Man.
No, I like the death of Falcon, actually, where like War Machine's just like Falcon, and he just disappears like at his feet. It's like if a tree falls in the forest, did it actually fall down?
Oh my god.
A tree, if no one hears it, did it actually fall?
I actually felt kind of sad that Don Cheadle, War Machine, totally missed that right before he showed up there, Falcon disappeared, like turned to dust. Like for some reason, I felt like some weird sympathy towards Falcon because no one saw him die.
Do you know what my favorite? Do you know what my favorite Don Cheadle thing is? Like now videos of what's Bruce Banner's name?
Mark Ruffalo.
Well, videos of Mark Ruffalo are coming out where he actually spoiled Avengers in interviews.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, and Don Cheadle's like he actually says everyone dies, and Don Cheadle's inside him just goes, "Man, what the fuck?" I'm gonna link you guys. It's so funny. It's like months ago in a press junket, and like Mark Ruffalo just couldn't help himself. At least like Tom Holland gets Benedict Cumberbatch, who like stops him mid sentence.
Yeah.
Like Benedict Cumberbatch just goes beep 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 beep. Like Don Cheadle gets caught off guard.
Yeah, like those two. Like I think we've gotten hints of that since Mark Ruffalo kept his phone on in the theater.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo is the worst, dude. It's spoilers, man.
Which movie was that for? Was that for Age of Ultron that he kept his phone on?
No, that was for Ragnarok, dude.
That's for Thor Ragnarok.
It was the premiere, and he left his phone on live, Facebook Live.
Yeah, so for a little bit of context, for the world premiere of Thor Ragnarok, the other Avengers that were publicly known were there in attendance. And Mark Ruffalo was doing Facebook Live before that, and when he sat down in the theater, he forgot to stop the live feed, and it kept going, so that a lot of people on his feed heard like the first few minutes of audio for Thor Ragnarok.
No, dude, it was a pretty long one, dude.
Was it? I thought it was like 15 minutes.
Nope, it was pretty. From what I know, it went on for a while.
I'm sure he got fined for that. No way he got away with that unscathed.
Yeah.
Like he's all smiles now, but I'm pretty sure the House of Mouse. I'm pretty sure the white glove was slapped on his across his face. Oh man!
Mark Ruffalo, what do you think you're doing? Me and Minnie are pretty upset by what you're thinking. Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh man! But yeah, so
the moment he enters the room, he's like, "Oh boy!
Oh boy!" What were your memorable moments of the movie, guys?
Jay, you
okay,
first.
I really hated the Iron Spider suit from Homecoming.
Oh, okay.
But when it went on Pete, dude, it worked. I loved it.
It looked good, and
plus the legs, the spider legs from the Civil War comic. The Iron Spider Civil War comic, dude. When it went out, I was like, this is awesome.
It was nice, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I too had my reservations because in my mind, if they were ever gonna bring the Iron Spider-Man costume to the movies, I always thought it'd be red and gold.
It should have been red and gold, but it still works.
Yeah. Like I was hoping it'd exactly be like the comic because it's probably my top 3 favorite Spider-Man costumes of all time.
It's my top 5, top 6 maybe.
Yeah. So, when we saw this version, the red, blue, and gold, I was a little underwhelmed, hoping that, by the time Infinity War would roll out, he'd have a red and gold version. But when it just attached to him, nanoparticle style, and started crawling all over his skin, Linkin Park style, it was awesome. I was all in, and especially when the, what did they call it in the comics, Jay? The extra legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, when those popped out, I was like, yes!
It's there!
Yeah, like, those eased my annoyances, my initial annoyances at the costume. Because I was like, okay, as long as those are there, yes, I'm good. This is the costume I want.
Yeah.
Speaking of costumes, for once, I am happy that they actually did the extremist costume.
Yeah.
Or
they mixed
close to it.
Oh.
And they mixed it with the heroic age Iron Man costume.
Mick has some things to say about this. We talked about this during the pre-show.
Right?
Go for it, Mick.
Because when Iron Man 2 came out and they were like, it's gonna be extremist, I was like waiting for the nanobots to just come out and make the suit, and it never happened, and now it has. Like, my friends know I'm not the biggest Iron Man fan, but that was just crazy.
Okay.
I mean, Tony Stank, not Tony Stank, Robert Downey Jr. has probably endeared Iron Man to a lot of people who would never have thought they'd like Iron Man,
Yeah, no, I still don't like Iron Man, but I like Robert Downey Jr. in a suit.
Yes. Wait, let me throw the suit up real quick while Mick is gonna talk. Yeah, go for it.
Because MCU Tony Stark is basically RDJ in a suit. It's not Tony Stark.
Yes. Well, he's our Tony Stark now, is what I would like to put it as.
He's bettered the character, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the cartoon we got in the 90s was kind of more of the comics. And this...
Yeah, and
this
Iron Man before Iron Man 1, I wouldn't even say he was an A-class hero. I'd put him at B.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Hands down.
What? Yeah. No, for real,
down.
dude.
Iron
Yeah.
Man,
It wasn't until the...
class.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
He was elevated by his status as
he
an
was
Avenger.
better because of the movie. Yeah.
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 So, Mick, you wanted to talk about the costume.
Okay, I just want to clarify. The extremist armor is basically it doesn't come out of his skin, but rather he can telepathically make the suit go on him. So
In the movie.
oh no, in the comics, because this is actually based on the Bleeding Edge armor. Because the Bleeding Edge armor is the one with the nano knights. Right? Yeah, heroic age. It's the nanobots, nanobot technology.
Come out of his skin.
Come out of his skin, and well, it's nice. I mean, it really looks nice, especially the parts where he was, it does like pop out and he has those blasters coming from the back.
Yeah.
It was cool, but it's I don't understand why he has to attach another arc reactor in his chest when they dedicated one whole movie on him struggling with the fact that Tony Stark and Iron Man can't be the same, which is Iron Man 3. True. And that in the end of it, they took it out, right? So I don't understand why, after like maybe one or two movies after Iron Man 3, where he was there, they just brought it back. I don't, I'm really at a loss. I'm like, okay, why did, right?
I mean, I was too at first, but I think that's the very, that's a very good case of a director going one way and the studio saying, all right, we got to find a way to retcon this as well as possible.
Like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. That's the word for it, retcon, dude.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's find a way to take that back without pissing too many people off.
For our more casual listeners, retcon means retroactive continuity. So you take something back to change the past.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love how also retcon is becoming a colloquial term that everyone knows now. Like slowly but surely, everyone knows what.
Slowly.
Yeah. It's nice. I like that.
Because even TV shows do it now.
True.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I would have had actually a suggestion instead of, okay, fine, the Bleeding Edge armor and the extremist armor or everything that is basically what inspired this Iron Man suit for Infinity War. You know, it's cool. It's a cool concept. I think it gives people an idea of like, oh wow, Iron Man had a suit like that. Wow, right? For especially for those who don't read it. But to me, in my honest opinion, I really think they should have went with the God Killer armor. Probably, arguably, the best looking Iron Man suit in the whole armory. That's just me. I don't know if you guys don't have to agree with me, but dude, that's my favorite one.
I'll throw it up on screen. Let me try and look for a good shot of it. Is it?
It's basically.
Is
You know
one?
about that, Jay? Yeah, that's
from his Guardians. That's from his Guardians of the Galaxy run.
Yeah, that's his Guardians of the Galaxy run. And the thing is, think about it. I mean, he went to space, so he's like, how are you gonna travel to space? You know, how are you gonna follow? Then you're gonna wear the God Killer suit, right?
Well, it's not too late. You can still whip it out in the next movie, right?
Hard to, maybe.
I want a throwback, like Herald, bring the Silver Centurion costume out.
Oh God!
Oh, sorry,
do it.
Iron Man 3. Sorry, yes, Silver Centurion.
Let me throw it up. We're doing the movie version, right?
Sorry, Jay. What was special with the Silver Centurion again?
It just looks so retro, and it's not red and gold. I think it's silver and red.
It's silver and red.
Oh,
yes.
You don't want the movie version. You want the comic version.
The comic version, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Armor Wars.
Bam!
Armor Wars, bro. There.
Silver.
I've had enough of McDo. Come on, like I want silver and red.
Yeah.
Tired of yellow and red.
Yeah.
You know, I love a shout out to that, but in Iron Man 2 with the the suitcase armor, which is arguably my favorite MCU armor of Iron Man. That one, because it brings back memories, like with the animated series of Iron Man, where he opens his briefcase, he stands on it, and boom, Iron Man suit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It pays homage and to that era.
Iron Man and Force Works.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay,
back to the movie before we
run out of
time. Yeah, we're gonna run out of time soon, but I want to ask you guys. Okay, favorite scenes from the movie. Let's get to those.
Favorite scenes.
Before we wrap up on final opinions.
The surprise Peter Dinklage appearance was really, really nice.
That was nice.
Did not expect that. Yeah. It's like, that guy looks really familiar. It's like, oh.
No. What are you talking about? Like, he throwing that Game of Thrones accent again.
Yeah. I don't like how Groot was used, to be honest. Like, I did not like it. Like,
I didn't like it.
Well, the handle makes it look like a
that's what I was gonna say.
The Stormbreaker is supposed to be badass, bro.
Dude, I mean, if you ignored the part where no, I was gonna say, like, if you just ignore that part, it is huge though, right? It's like
no, but if you look at the hammer he had in Ultimates, in Mark Millar's Ultimates run, it's huge. It's huge, yeah.
But it wasn't like
right?
Yeah, the thing is, it didn't have a wooden handle, which I think really took away from the size. Yeah. Like, if it had a metal handle, it would have looked more normal, I guess. I think it's just unconventional to have the friggin' wooden arm.
But Groot had to do something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like, Groot did nothing except complain and be a teenager and
I am Groot.
Right?
Language!
Whoa, language.
See, so, like, this is the only way for him to, like, oh, look, I did something, and then it just makes his death more like, oh, he made the handle. What the hell happened? I
didn't like the Guardians in this movie, to be honest, except for Gamora. Gamora was awesome here, but everyone else.
Drax. There we go.
Drax, when I read Gauntlet again, I reviewed it. He was dumb Drax. He wasn't because Drax was meant to be a human made to kill Thanos. Talaga.
Yeah.
So. In the comic in Gauntlet, he was stupid. So I was like, it works. But he should have put up a bigger fight against Thanos.
Yeah.
Because that was his core. It's core to his character.
Yeah. Wapak in the chat says that was one of my least favorite parts. It was too rushed. It was. It definitely was, and it's one of those things that if you want to nitpick, it's one of the things you would nitpick. But then at the same time,
which is what we do here.
Yeah,
Yep.
but at the same time, they've given us such a wonderful movie that it's really hard to bash something that
Yeah.
took
I
this
love
much
it.
effort.
Yep.
Right? It was such a good movie, and the layers that people could appreciate. It's gonna hold up well in the future.
I want to ask you guys.
Yeah.
Go.
Space fight first scene with Thanos and Loki. What did you guys think?
Oh, that was cool. I think it was the perfect way to diffuse Loki's death.
Yeah.
I think Loki was too smart. Like it would have been too much of an advantage to have him on the team. That's why they killed him off at the start.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the next scene, I loved the Tony Stark and Doctor Strange banter. I loved the meetup, the one with Wong and Peter and everything at the start against the Black Maw, Ebony Maw. It was pretty good.
Or just
Sherlock's in space during Attack on Titan was where it went down. But then the whole Doctor Strange part and Iron Man part, enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
To be honest, my favorite scene though, like to be honest here, was that part where, it was just, Elizabeth Olsen or Wanda walking with Vision and then just cuts
Scotland.
in Scotland, and then at one part where he just out of nowhere someone stabs him and then puts him up in the air. Because I got really shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
That's a good jump scare.
No, people were asking me like why he was so useless like after that. And my answer to that is this guy, Vision, or Viz as they call him now.
Yeah.
I always thought it was Viz. It was weirding me out when I heard it. It's like, why is it Viz? Anyway,
Sounds like Wiz.
this guy has been facing through every attack since the beginning.
yeah.
This is the first time he's gotten hit.
Yeah.
So he's freaking out, dude. That's why he's useless.
He's like if you guys have seen Dr. Horrible, he's Captain Hammer when he finally gets hurt.
Yeah.
Dumbfounded. Like, what's happening?
This has never happened before. Like his
What is
senses are all
something
just being like attacked.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to me, another favorite part of mine was that part where the dramatic part where Wanda had to break the was that the Mind Stone? Am I correct?
Oh
Was it
yeah.
the Mind Stone. He had
Soul
to.
Stone. Oh no, yeah,
No, Mind, because Soul was the one where he had to throw
Yeah,
Gamora off the
Yep.
cliff, right?
I think
So
that was
it's the
like
Mind
that was the biggest hint was on his head. Like, don't you forget this is the Mind Stone.
Mind Stone.
You know when Avengers 1 came out with Loki with the scepter controlling minds, I was like, guys, that's a Mind Stone. Everyone, that's the Mind Stone.
Mind Stone. You
Guys.
should have shouted.
I mean,
it's like Mind Stone.
Yeah.
People would have been like, shut up, nerd.
No, you should.
We don't
It's the
care.
Mind Stone.
Then 7 years
later.
later, Jay, what happened in Avengers, man?
But yeah, as I was saying, that part where it's like it's all dramatic music, and then he suddenly explodes, and just Thanos just reverse everything that just happened.
Yeah. He's
Pick
like,
him
nope.
up. Just what? I'm gonna break your forehead. Bam. Thank you.
Yeah, that was messed up, dude.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It-
But I freaking hate Wanda, dude.
I hated her.
Because of House of M. I will never forgive you, Scarlet Witch, for House of M.
It hasn't happened
Never.
yet in this universe, so.
Yep.
Which is my favorite crossover story in the whole Marvel universe, honestly. Best.
It's good though. Yeah, House of M is great. My favorite moment. Oh man, to boil it down to one moment, it's hard not to make fun of it because like, if I wanted to go with a joke, I would have said when the Putty Patrol showed up. Because those guys were made to die. Like,
Yeah, they're all red shirts.
right? Like those guys are all red shits. Man, there's just so many. Captain America showing up for the first time. Captain America showing up for the second time.
Showing up for the third time.
Black Widow using Proxima Midnight's spear was pretty awesome.
Oh, that was
yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Badass.
So it makes me excited for a Black Widow movie, which I think is gonna happen now.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It is possible.
Yeah.
It depends.
Mike,
it really depends on how they're gonna how they're gonna try to finish this whole Avengers thing.
Yeah.
But give Hawkeye his Netflix show. That's what I want.
Oh yes, with
Base
Kate
it
Bishop.
on Fraction and David Aja's run on Hawkeye.
Yeah, with
I
Kate
see.
It'll
Bishop.
be perfect.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then-
yeah, exactly. And Pizza Dog.
Yeah, just use the same art director you have for Jessica Jones, because it's pretty much like, you know,
Yeah.
right? So like I want to open this to the chat as well, because we're wrapping up. I want to open this to the chat, like Mike has answered. You know, Mike's favorite, or his the
Gamora's
scene he
death.
liked the most was Gamora's death, which was impactful. You know, like.
Yeah.
Again, if I'm gonna nitpick, I think it could have been handled a little better. The slow-mo was at awkward moments, but that was very impactful for me. Like I didn't think it would happen, and then the longer that scene dragged on, the more I was like, oh shit, he loves Gamora. He's gonna throw her in the pit. He's gonna
God.
throw her in the pit. Yeah, that was a good one actually. That was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a good
Man,
scene.
I can't pick one scene now. I thought I knew, but then now I can't.
I would have loved if there was some somber music playing when Thanos was crying, like maybe some Clapton or something.
Would
Dun,
you
dun,
know
dun,
my
My
name?
name, if I saw you in heaven.
Or what's the "You're My Boy Blue" song from
Oh
from
yeah.
old school?
Well, I close
I closed
my eyes.
Like while she was falling, like that would be
Yeah.
good.
Thank you for joining us in the karaoke cast, guys.
Oh yes, definitely.
That's what this is. That's what this is.
I
This
think
is just a Smule video thing.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think if I had to pick one moment, again, it's partially because it was also memorable because it's funny. Like when they beat that guy who was torturing Doctor Strange so easily by shooting him out
Ebony
of the
Maw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alien.
Ebony Maw, by shooting him out of the ship with physics. Like that was genius.
No,
like,
with a pop culture reference, dude.
yeah, okay.
Like
With a pop
like
culture
Spider-Man,
reference.
like told Tony Stark, dude, let's do Alien.
Like that really, really old movie. Like, God damn it, Peter, you got us with Empire already. Yeah, I think that was memorable for me because one, pop culture in it. Two, like they do a lot of things that in this movie that people would point out, like it would have been so easy to just pop a hole in the spaceship and have him sucked out, and it was. Yes,
Yeah.
that's they do a lot of that stuff throughout the movie, like point out like the obvious, like, oh, where's Clint and Scott? Like, oh, they're in house arrest.
Didn't Jeremy Renner break his arm during filming? That's why he's not there.
I think it was because
Yeah.
they filmed certain scenes at the same time, so I think it was for the next one.
Yeah, but
And he broke his arms. That's what I remember.
I heard he broke his arm. I heard he broke his arm during filming, so they just decided like, okay, we'll just take him out.
Yeah, just put him in the next one. He'll be
Yeah.
part of the main group.
And when he heals up. Oh, Wapak on the chat goes Iron Man getting stabbed. Yep.
Oh yeah,
That was a good scene.
Yeah.
where we thought
was
he was
good
gonna die.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
Yeah.
I really thought I genuinely thought that he was gonna go. Wow, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for.
I would not have complained
Iron Man
though
says,
if that's where they decide to take him out, because that was epic.
I actually liked the scene when Thanos acknowledged that he knew who Tony Stark was. that
Oh
was a-
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
with intelligence.
like because of what he did in Avengers 1 versus the Chitauri. Like he knew
Yeah.
who Tony Stark was, and
Yeah.
I was like, I love this.
Yeah, this
Amazing.
was Tony Stank.
Yeah.
Stank, and the banter with Thanos.
Yeah, I totally agree. I hope, if they do off a lot of the characters permanently, it'll be in a similar way, something that feels right and not quick. And well, we have no reason to believe they'll do it in a way that we won't like, because they've handled everything well so far.
Yeah. I don't think they
So-
will though. I think they're gonna bring everyone back plus Quicksilver.
Oh man, if they bring back Pietro, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose my
Yeah.
Again. Okay, so since you brought up Quicksilver, I just want to, since I have the platform, here now, I just want to ask you guys that question. He's very fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's
Right.
very fast. He has momentum. So when he has momentum, he had momentum to push that car to block, the gunfire
Yes.
from Clint and the kid. So I just want to ask this question: if he had the momentum to push something that is what? I'm guessing maybe like almost a ton. Like almost a ton. Why didn't he just, pick them up and just move them to the safe side without him even having to die?
Harold, I have the ultimate answer for this.
Go for it.
Mick?
Yeah.
Quicksilver is stupid.
There we go. Thank you. It's like how my
Even in the comics, he is.
Yeah.
He's
No, but besides Quicksilver coming back with when they use the gauntlet, I'm hoping that they also bring back 2 other things.
What?
Okay, go for it.
Wanda and Pietro's accents.
Oh! Shots fired.
On English now for some reason.
And you know what? It was real. I'm kind of glad they Americanized her throughout the movies. Like not Americanized. They toned down the accent, which is what would happen if you spend enough time in a culture, right? Like you would start to pick up the accent. But like, cause freaking Aaron Taylor Johnson's
Sokovian was so
Sokovian
bad.
accent was like, oh man, he's
not
he's
Sokovian.
got the jump.
What is it? It's
No, they were Sokovian because
they were, but it's a
Bosnian accent. I'm guessing.
no, it's a Romani accent. There you go.
Oh, Romani.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, like it was so cringy because he's wearing the jumpsuit. It's so stereotypical, and I was so glad they went away with that and his body.
But
no,
but they've been gone for so long that maybe they've given him a dialect coach or something.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
No, but if he comes back, we're gonna get the Quicksilver shirt in Under Armour again. So which I didn't get the first time. So
yeah. I just if we do get Quicksilver back, give him a good run. Give him the run people wanted to give him, and because I mean, Jay pointed out, he's got the average human intellect, but superhuman speed. So.
No, I'd say below average, below par.
It's like an 80.
Pietro is a dumbass. Let's admit it.
Yeah.
And
that's why the Inhumans hate him. That's why the Avengers hate him. Yeah.
And I think the character of Quicksilver deserves more than especially what the X-Men are giving him. Yes, the flashy scenes where he goes in bullet time is great. All those are great. Especially the very first one that we saw where he put the classical music on. But I want to see more of his story and not just as someone that got thrown away. I want to see his relationship with Wanda, the complexity of that, because in the comics, as awkward as it is, their twincest is the pivot of a lot of their storylines.
No, that's only for the Ultimate Universe.
No, exactly.
When it's Earth 616, they're completely fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying that it's with all the storylines. I'm saying, the fact that layer of complexity existed in a storyline, or in the Ultimate Universe was a key pivot of a lot of their interactions with other people, and how hard it was for them to adjust socially with the rest of the world.
And the fact that, like, a few months after Avengers 2 came out, Godzilla came out, and they were married in that movie.
That was before! It was before!
It was before. It was so weird, dude.
It was so weird! So weird! But yeah, so... Oh, Ruru, long time no see, says in the chat, give Quicksilver a worthy death. His death will trigger Wanda to say, no more Titans. Damn! Damn! Ruru pulling
Wanda
that House of M.
Wanda does not say no more. She's not allowed. Never.
Why
Never
did you
allowed.
say that like she never freezes?
No.
What are you talking about? I never freeze. All right. So, man, we could go on for
Wait,
for
what
another
accent was that, Harold?
I never freeze. We could go on for another few hours, but I think to prevent ourselves from lacking sleep for the next day, this is where we got to cut it off. Let's give our final thoughts, guys. Final thoughts on the whole movie, and then your rating on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's start with Mick. Mick, man.
Okay.
Final thoughts.
Okay. I wrote it down just to make sure. Execution is amazing. The Russo brothers were able to incorporate everything so seamlessly. All those characters, all in 2 hours and 38 minutes without any of them feeling so, like, useless, aside from Groot. But yeah,
I am
it's kind of hard when you have so much characters in a story, and you're trying to make them relevant to a certain extent. Now, even if they have short, in this movie, even if they had short, even if they had like short screen times, they were somewhat establishing. Like people were like, oh yeah, this guy, blah blah blah, and then it felt like they were part of it, not just like, oh, he's just there in the background, So that's good. It's a great ending. I hated the post-credit scene. It sucked. Star-Lord sucks. Thanos, it's humanizing. I didn't like it so much because I didn't like it so much at first, but then now I kind of grew on me. Mm-hmm. Captain America had weird fucking gauntlets. They should do not bring that fucking back. Okay, he's not some assassin from Ragnarok Online. He's not some Qatar wielding assassin from whatever series you would wanna like base that on. Okay, Peter Dinklage as a giant. I've seen everything. Okay, I've seen everything. That was dope. Okay, and of course, we didn't touch on this, but it's Hulk in the Hulkbuster suit. How ironic is that? No, right?
Yeah.
And I just hate how the Hulk this is all the way back in Thor Ragnarok. I hate how they made the Hulk into the comic relief. They made him such a baby now that he's a badass. I mean, okay, fine, he's funny in the Avengers. Okay, remember that scene when Bruce Banner said, I went through some dark times. I actually put a gun to my mouth, and when I pulled it, he spat it out. Remember that scene? And I was like, wow, that made the Hulk so badass, right? But then when you see him in Thor Ragnarok, and then you see him in this movie, I'm like, wow, what like maybe 5 years does to you? It makes you like a degenerate now. I mean, like,
regression is a thing.
It's sad to see that the Hulk, from being such a badass from the Avengers 1 and Avengers 2, to turn out into something like this, like just some crybaby that's like, no, I don't want to go out of my room, Dad, or something like that, right? Crap. But anyway, yeah. All in all, if I were to give a rating out of 10, I would give this an 8.5.
Ooh.
It still doesn't beat Iron Man, the movie that started all of it, which I gave a 9. Like, if you guys do watch this and you watch the Black Panther episode, I've never given a 10. There's no movie in the MCU that I've given 10 to, because I like to nitpick certain things, like, because I watch them more than once, maybe even more than twice, to just absorb the story as much as I possibly can, and I nitpick certain things, and I can't give it a 10. I really can't. Iron Man deserved a 9. Avengers deserved an 8. This tops Black Panther. This tops Winter Soldier. This tops
You dare. Okay, sorry.
Civil War. Yeah, because it was so good. It was just so good. Everything tied in so well. There were no loose ends. Like, you're just like, wow, what happened, right?
Yeah.
I was literally speechless. So there, it deserves an 8.5 in my opinion. Yeah, that's me. That's just me. Don't think of me as an expert or something like that. Yeah.
Since you asked at the start though, we'd rate you a 5 out of 5, mate.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Because he did ask at the start. I'd rate me. I'd rate the film. You're a 5 out of 5, bro.
Thank you.
All right, Jay, go for it.
With me, as usual, I feel like Marvel's changes make the stories better. So, I've said everything I had to say about the movie. Loved it. I love how they meshed Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity from Hickman's run in 2013. I think it was a mashup. But yeah, I think it was better the way it was. Like, I think it's better without Adam Warlock. I think it's better without Silver Surfer. I think it's better without the cosmic eternity, cosmic beings. I think it's way better this way. And despite reading everything, I don't know what's gonna happen next, and that makes me happy.
Jay,
Yo.
just wanna confirm. You're
up?
right. Infinity is 2013. Infinity Gauntlet is 1991.
Thank you.
How are you whispering, but the timbre is louder? How is that possible?
It's the mic. It's the mic. You know, when you get closer, it really just.
Yeah.
Oh. Right.
Okay, so Jay,
See,
on a
that's
scale
why we told James to come closer to the screen when we don't hear him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm exactly on the same boat as Mick. Do you hear me? Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Do you hear me now?
Okay.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice. Hero
Exactly
Penguin
the
in the
same.
chat says nerfing the comics is an agreeable idea for me too, Jay. Awesome. 8.5 out of 10.
I'm with you.
All right, 8.5 out of 10 from the Aggro Crag of Geeks, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I think I'm pretty much on the same boat as you guys. Again, you could feel the palpable cheese in certain scenes, but it's not like Star Wars where they pause because they think that's where you're gonna laugh, which I love. And I didn't think I'd do this, but the more we talked about it, the more I realized you could actually compare it a little bit to the recent trilogy or the upcoming full trilogy of the new Star Wars series, or the current Star Wars series, where they avoided taking anything from the EU, the expanded universe. What I think Marvel does amazingly is they take source material and they make it their own. What the MCU did was, okay, we know we have all these tools. How do we make them work for us? How do we make it work for a 1 hour and a half movie, 2 hour and a half movie? How do we squeeze all these guys in and make it work? Which I think Kathleen Kennedy and everyone over there at Lucas, all credit to them. They're giving us more Star Wars, which we can't complain about at all, in my opinion. I really enjoy the fact that we get more Star Wars in cinemas. Yeah. But I think the MCU and everyone there, they had the balls to do all of this. They had the balls to take source material and say, we're not going to screw with it too much. And, I know we rag on DC a lot, but they seem afraid to tinker with source material, to stay close enough to the source, but stay refreshing. They either go all the way edgy and change it, or they try and take too much from the characters. And, the MCU continues to give us what we want as fans of Marvel and as fans of comic books.
Your source material is your weapon to know what works.
Yes.
And people love your stories for a reason. They love your characters. So just stick with it. Change stuff that doesn't work. Yeah. But always keep the essence and the gist of it. Like the Thing.
Yeah.
If he stopped being, Yancey Street Boy, like it won't work. Like he has to be there's a thing.
Yankee Street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So to all credit, it's not easy to make Star Wars movies. It's not easy to make Marvel movies. But if Marvel could prove that you can do this, I think it's a great step in a direction where geek culture is becoming so prominent in the world, and it's
we're not so special anymore.
it's flooding mainstream media. So if we take it all in the right direction and continue to get inspired by things like the MCU, I think we're in a good place, and we'll continue to be in a good place. And I'm getting to deeper things because that's how Infinity War and the Marvel movies have made me feel. They've been inspiring. They've been something that make you, like, as weird as it is to say, I want to live for these movies because I want to see where they take them.
It keeps me around when I'm
exactly.
sad. But there's a Marvel film I'm looking forward to.
Right? So because of that, I'm gonna give it a slightly higher rating than you guys, and I'm gonna give it a 9 because it's the culmination of so much, and the film in itself can be dissected, but what it represents and all the movies that came before them to lead up to this, and the fact that they didn't disappoint earns it an extra 0.5 for me. There was so much weight on the shoulders of this film, and it delivered. You know, and
Yes,
it delivered.
It really did.
Yeah, it delivered with an impact that left people in the theaters speechless, which, like we mentioned earlier, is not an easy thing to do nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add that I think one of the good things about these films is, despite its dark stories, it still feels comic-y. It still feels like a comic book. And sometimes DC's films feel like they're so scared of admitting that they're a comic book. They're so scared of going into the source material, and Marvel just like absorbs it.
I would like to try to answer that. Why DC is like that? It's because of Christopher Nolan. Just want to point that out, because Christopher Nolan is successful at taking a comic book and make it as realistic as you possibly can, aka the Dark Knight trilogy.
We can go on a critical analysis over the difference with Marvel and DC, which I can do in a lecture for you guys.
A lecture.
But then again,
it's not for online.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, we should have a sit down for that. Definitely.
Professor Agro Crag.
Like I always said, it's because of Christopher Nolan. But here's the problem: it's that, you know, it worked for Batman and that trilogy, okay, hands down. But when you start humanizing all of your DC characters into an extreme level, it infuriates you. Right?
A little hint on the lecture, Mick, for when you get it. Marvel's characters, you relate to them.
Yeah.
But DC's characters give you characters that you could not, but still characters you want to be. Yeah. So, like,
oh man, this is our Justice League episode all over again.
When you make it too human, it disappears, the essence of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm done.
I totally agree with what he said.
This will be offline.
Okay, let's cut it there, because the thing is, we might go another hour just talking about this stuff.
We can. So we're gonna cut it.
We can definitely, like 1 or 2 hours maybe.
All right, folks at home, let us know what your ratings are. If you're in the live chat, just start spamming them in the chat. If you are listening to us through our VODs or through our podcast audio, tweet us or Facebook message us or do whatever you can, because we want to know what you thought of the movie and we want to engage you in conversation.
And let Mick know that he's also a 5 out of 5. You know, make a boy's day brighter.
Boys' night.
Boys' night.
All right, well let's end it then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, and this is how we end things.
Avengers assemble.
That's how you're gonna end it.
Mick, Jay, Goncho. It has been a giant-sized episode. What a fantastic episode! I think I haven't said this in a while, which proves that I don't say it every episode, but this has been one of our best yet. So, Mick, where can the folks at home find you when you're not on the Quit Stalling Geekcast?
Ooh. When I'm not on the Geekcast, you could find me in this wonderful, little gaming podcast on Quit Stalling. Wait, who dropped?
Did anyone drop?
Oh,
no one dropped.
I heard the drop sign. Anyway, yeah, this is a small podcast. It's called, GameByte, if you're familiar with that. It's on twitch.tv/Quit Stalling as well.
I might have like an image.
The same channel.
Yeah, I might have an image of that. Hold on 1 second. Let me throw that out.
Why did I zoom in? Why did I zoom in?
Why did you zoom in? Yeah, I think Jay dropped. You're right.
Yeah, Jay dropped.
Yeah, Jay dropped. So here it is.
Yeah.
It's not tonight. It's not tonight. I just wanted to throw up an image.
So yeah, and we're like episode 53 now, not 50. It's just an example. But yeah, you can find me there, where I try to give an unbiased opinion about certain games in the world today. There we go. And aside from that, you can find me on Twitter. That is @TheFuryBot. You can also find me on Twitch. That is twitch.tv/TheFuryBot, where you will probably, I don't know when you'll probably see me online, but hit that follow just to find out, so you get that alerts.
Yeah. You know what I think happened, Mick? I think Jay ran out of battery on his phone. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm pretty sure.
Is it okay if I do like where you can find him? Cause
yeah, go for it. Go for it.
No, wait. Let me pull it up. So if you want to know, if you want to like, try to say hi to Jay, you can find him on Twitter. That is at Jay anything, right?
Yeah, at Jay anything 89.
Jay anything 89. Show him some love there. Show him that. Give him a tweet. Tweet to him right now and tell him you should have plugged your phone before you actually started the podcast. Yeah, but again, he's a lot of informative stuff from him on his Twitter. So do give him a follow. And Herald, where can the fine folks at home find you?
Thanks so much, Mick. Well, when I'm not on the Quitsong Geekcast, you can find me on GameByte as well. Like we said, it's Wednesday nights, every 9:30 p.m. plus 8 GMT. I think that's 5:30 a.m. in California. If you want to find out, when it airs, follow us on our social media, which I will pimp in just a little bit. You can also find me on the Quit Stalling Community Night Overwatch Scrims. So me and Diego Z and of course Sherbet from twitch.tv/SherbetPH have been started running community scrimmages for all of the people who play Overwatch in our community. So it's been fun. We had a great time shoutcasting it. I think I have a clip that I can show as well for that.
Spoiler alert! Holy spoiler alert!
Oh, that was pretty good. I like that. That's pretty good, man. We should have you do that sometime. All right, I think this is it. Yeah. Hold on, let me bring it up on the screen.
That's me. Oh, there. Yeah. See, that's a boy, Diego Z. Oh.
Yeah. So we had a great time shoutcasting this. Me, DZ, we were just standing, casting the whole night. It was like 2-3 hours, and it was fun. It was super fun. I enjoy when I talk about video games, but I also enjoy when I shoutcast. Yeah, when I shoutcast live. The video should come out within the day, so check that out when it does. You could find me on @HeraldPlays. Let me bring that up. @HeraldPlays on Instagram and Twitter, the tweeter, or Twatterton. You can find me on Twatterton. You can find me on twitch.tv/HeraldPlays as well. And if you want more of Quit Stalling, check us out on all the social media links below. If you want to find us on Facebook, facebook.com/QuitStallingUs. We're on Twitter @QuitStallingUs. If you want to keep the conversation going, Excuse me. Whoa. We're on Instagram @QuitStalling. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/QuitStalling, where you can find all the videos on demand when you want them. Just like when you want to watch Cobra Kai, you just head on over to YouTube. Twitch.tv/QuitStalling as well is where you're watching us. Hit that follow button if you haven't yet. Hit that cheer button if you want to cheer us on with some bits. Hit that subscribe button if you want to subscribe to us. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. It's over here as well. So it's above you on your left. Yeah, somewhere there.
Oh, there.
And of course, if you want to donate or support us, with any amount that isn't a sub or a bit cheer, hit that support button below. If you're on Twitch, there's a button there. If you're on YouTube, the link should be in the comments and descriptions. This has been a fantastic episode, Mick. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. This was so fun.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you for coming. I love having you on the show. I love having you on GameByte. This is so awesome. So it's an honor and a privilege to do this with you, with Jay. I guess when Wancho's here, it's also a privilege.
With Goncho, Goncho.
With Goncho.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Boy. So, our boy, we hope he's all right. When you haven't seen your girlfriend in a long time and she shows up in America with you, you're bound to miss a couple of podcasts. You're bound to miss a couple of podcasts.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
We can't blame him. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, keep the conversation going. We're gonna have a short after show after this. It's late, but we're gonna do a couple of minutes just to get the R-rated stuff out of the way. Thank you everyone. We'll see you next week in a different time, same bat channel. Follow our social media for updates on that. But till then, get off your butts and quit stalling. Bye, everybody. Bye. This episode of the Quetzalong Geekcast was brought to you by the Quetzalong Media Network. For more, check out all the social media links that Herald has just read out. Till then, get off your butts and quit stalling.